everybody. It's Kristen and I'm Jason. We're going to talk about some of the additional external advertising methods that we like to use at VENDO to drive additional traffic to your listing in preparation, especially for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So we're excited to get into some of our best practices, but wanted to go ahead and let Kristen introduce herself first, and then I'll do the same afterwards.
Hey guys, I'm Kristen. I am a digital media buyer here at VENDO, mostly focused on external advertising from Google and Facebook and Instagram to Amazon. We also work on some other channels as well, including Snapchat, Pinterest, TikTok, you name it. We're always looking for new platforms we can drive external traffic to Amazon too. So, yeah.
Perfect. And then I work both on Amazon advertising and then off. What we consider off is driving external traffic to the Amazon listing, just to increase eyes on those product description pages. So we really like to kind of complement what we do on our Amazon efforts with off-site marketing efforts as well, using paid channels, and then have those work systematically together. For the main reason, obviously, to just drive additional high relevant traffic to the listing, with the overall goal then to increase daily sales. The way that we like to break up advertising, at least at VENDO, is into two broad categories. So we have our on Amazon optimizations, which would include, anything from SEO and content listing to making sure that we have high quality imagery, as well as, enhanced brand content. And then with those product pages being fully optimized, then we complement those with ads so that we can drive more eyes to those listings, which is great. But once we've kind of fully maximized the potential there, we also like to transition into some external advertising efforts because from what we see, it's a great way to boost your BSR and improve organic keyword ranking, and then drive outside traffic that doesn't necessarily begin on Amazon. So from what we see, 34% of traffic begins off of Amazon. And we'd like to, take advantage of that, leveraging a couple different channels that we specifically have seen a lot of success with at VENDO.
Awesome. So in this slide, this is kind of all of the offerings that we have here at VENDO. Again, mostly focused on Google, Facebook, and Instagram, but we also do run some campaigns through TikTok, Snapchat, and Pinterest as well, depending on the industry that you're in and what your overall product selection is and where your audience is primarily. So Google being a high intent search platform, we do a lot of Google search campaigns to Amazon, finding a lot of success through broad targeting and including Amazon in the search queries as well. Another important strategy on the social side is just ad creative testing as well as audience testing, trying to understand which is going to drive the biggest click-through rate and the biggest overall sales lift across all these channels. So,
yeah, great. And the reason why we love Google campaigns first and foremost is we're able to then take the successes and the learnings that we have from on Amazon PPC campaigns and duplicate over our top converting terms then onto Google, but just changing the search query a little bit. But then we see very similar purchasing patterns between a Google shopper and an Amazon shopper specifically. So moving forward, Chris and I kind of just want to talk a little bit about some of our, strategy executions and best practices and how we drive external traffic and use it then to boost traffic, drive sales, and improve our keyword rankings. Because at the end of the day on Amazon, the higher that our BSR, and the more that we can improve it, and the more that we can bring in, new to brand customers, the better that we're going to do long term with these new customers that we're bringing in. So you can go to the next slide, I think.
Yeah.
Awesome. So here are some statistics that we've pulled, that kind of work to show the value of Google. 64% of all online searches in the US took place on Google. So it's an avenue to give you access to, far more potential customers, and utilizing these channels outside of Amazon to drive the traffic. We're just expanding upon what our potential is in terms of reach and conversions.
Yeah, and this being Q4, we're also really focused on high quality keywords and long form key searches. So really important to be updating your ads in Q4 and including those searches that may include discount search queries as well as sales, and expect your cost per click to be increasing, and just prepare for any type of adjustments as needed, because this will be a much more competitive time and will really stretch your budget quickly if you're not optimizing the search term report in your search campaigns, or if you're not really in the accounts on a frequent basis.
It's a great point. And we ran very similar campaign strategies for Prime Day specifically, where we were able to leverage cheaper CPCs and much higher click-through rates because it was an Amazon specific holiday. But in preparation for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, which is more of just an internet-wide promotional event, that we're going to need to be extremely refined and narrow with our targeting, with high purchasing intent keywords built into those, so that we're not driving any real upper funnel traffic. The nice thing about running Google campaigns specifically, instead of running these PPC campaigns on Amazon, is we can direct people straight to the product description page. So if they click our ad on Google, they're going to drive straight to our product page, rather than see the other competitors who would be bidding on similar keywords on Amazon PPC. So the advantage is it gives us the ability to skip over our competition and then get our product page, kind of just as the first landing page that user would land on once they, got to Amazon specifically. Internally, we've developed a couple best practices that we definitely mix up from time to time throughout the year. So typically, if we weren't running or seeing a huge promotion or sale, we would recommend driving traffic first to a landing page and then to the Amazon PDP page. We do that as a middleman, as a way to filter out low quality traffic, so that once the person reaches the landing page, they'll be able to reference, more product information, become more familiar with the product, see what the pricing is necessarily, or what the promotional discount is available. And if they're still interested, they're able to click through. That's going to help improve our conversion rate long-term. But because for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we see such high purchasing intent, our strategy is to drive as much traffic and clicks to the listing as possible. So in some instances, it actually might make more sense to not worry so much about conversion rate and bypass the landing page to reduce that friction in the customer, the customer journey.
In instances where the landing page is also helpful, is just, for brands that may be a little bit smaller and need to tell a bigger brand story and give more context to the products, and also highlight customer reviews and just drive more consideration through the landing page, is definitely some success we've seen there, and worth implementing on Black Friday, Cyber Monday campaigns if you are a smaller brand and are really trying to implement more prospecting in your strategy.
Yep, 100%. And typically we're very aware of how important conversion rate is within the Amazon algorithm. But for, big holidays and sales specifically, that we're prepping for, we're just going to take advantage of the massive influx of traffic and get as many eyes on that listing as possible. Because we'll also then be able to, down the road, work on some retargeting and remarketing campaigns, both on and off Amazon as well. Perfect. So landing pages specifically, there's a couple different ways to do it, but there are resources available to cheap sites that you can subscribe to that'll actually build out landing pages almost automatically for you, where you enter in your product ASIN number and then you can update the specific sale items and still customize the page for a better user experience. But they do offer a bunch of robust capabilities where you can, work to capture emails and a customer list to build out, a more wide email marketing list for future use. But the one that we typically like to use has the ability then to also, create promotional codes and discount codes that can only be redeemed once. So it does just give you a little bit more capabilities in terms of tracking and understanding that customer journey then, while then not sacrificing your, your conversion rate. So if the landing page is something that, you're interested in doing, it's something that we see great success with, even though there is that extra friction point. And there are a bunch of different websites available that make building them out a quick and pretty easy process.
Yeah, and if there is, some concern about performance on the landing page, we always recommend an A/B test as well. You can still direct traffic direct to the listing as well as the landing page and see, which is getting higher click-through rate and, which is getting higher interaction rate as well. And we'll give you more clarity and data to evaluate how to move forward on future campaigns, especially as you move through the holiday season and, try to have competing offers and, potentially switch up some campaign strategies there.
Yeah, and it's great in terms of, Amazon and having some of that lack of data shared back with you about your customer. I think it's a really nice way to start building out an email newsletter list, which helps then the brands maintain that long-term relationship, and add additional value to customers who are interested in their product, because you kind of did half the hard part, which is getting them to the listing to begin with. But then working to constantly re-engage and keep them top of mind, is super important. And the landing page gives you access to do that.
Oh, are we going to go through this?
Yeah, let's do Facebook as well. So Facebook probably falls into our tier 2, similar to TikTok in terms of driving traffic to listings. We would definitely recommend for social advertising driving to a landing page first, because of the lack of conversion data that we're really able to get back from Amazon specifically. Facebook to us is more of a brand awareness play, as is TikTok. Where people are definitely likely to click through on the ads, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're still in the mood to purchase. So best practice for us for running and taking advantage of social advertising would be to create a lot of additional clicks, but to make sure that we create that landing page and drive them to it first before to the PDP page. And then typically the way that we like to run these campaigns is we always run a lead in sale. So the week before the main event, then we run the campaigns through the main event with more aggressive budgets and bids. And then we even to kind of protect our conversion rate on the back end, typically run a lead out sale as well, which would kind of mirror the first week, which would have been the lead in. So we like to use all of those external channels, kind of tie them together. And run, if it's a week-long event, basically a 2 to 3 week full test.
Completely aligned, Jason. And then, just as a reminder as well, with Facebook's algorithm, you do want to anticipate, a learning phase that you'll need to go through. So just make sure the budget is set properly so you're not stuck in learning limited or not seeing any delivery within those important timeframes.